Hello, this is John with Saul's message for Sunday, March 17th, 2019. Today he is talking about the distractions with which our egos constantly present us and the collective human choice to awaken. You find peace and self-acceptance as the love that you are arises into your awareness. The rate of change that is occurring worldwide in human attitudes and behaviors is truly amazing and is extremely uplifting and inspiring to observe. In fact, it is way beyond wonderful as more and more of you become aware that love is the only meaningful energy with which to engage as you pursue whatever you may be thinking, saying, or doing during your daily human activities. The effect that you, and your numbers are vast, who consistently and daily set the intention to be only loving, whatever arises, is fantastic. Before you incarnated, you knew that you could do this, but you did not know if you would do it, because the state of amnesia into which you slide as you embody yourselves as humans is rather like being incarcerated in a highly fortified prison or correctional facility, one that totally blocks all information from outside that might be of interest or of use to you. You knew this would be the case, but you also knew that you had enormous power available to you if you could remember how to access it. And many of you have now remembered. There is nothing physical that you have to do. The walls, veils, shields, or blinds that you experience as limitations on your ability to know or conceive of new ideas and possibilities will just dissolve, dissipate, and disassemble as you allow your consciousness to expand its area of awareness. It is just a case of fully opening your hearts to oneness, to your natural state of consciousness, in which knowledge or information flows freely into your awareness as intuitive knowing or guidance, precisely when you need it or could use it for the highest good of all. Love always serves the highest good, so when you set and hold the intent to be only loving whatever arises, you are effectively love offering its service in the way that is totally right for you. Although all are one, you each, while in human form, operate in a manner that is individually perfect for you and which provides in the moment precisely what is required in the physical environment in which you are present. You are all, each individual human being, precisely where you are meant to be at any given moment, because that is how you all planned your lives with the guidance of divine wisdom before you incarnated. In the state of amnesia, that is a major aspect of your human condition that is very difficult for you to conceive of, believe, or understand. Your egos want to believe and want you to believe that you are small and insignificant beings in an environment of enormous size that is, and remains totally unaware of you, and which you will never be able to understand, let alone feel safe in. And because your bodies can be easily hurt or damaged, your egos have for the most part convinced you and themselves that this is the way things are, and that you must always move with great caution in order to ensure your survival during the very short human lifespans that your bodies are capable of enduring. You are all aware that life as a human is extremely short in relation to the length of the time that the universe has been in existence, and this, due to an almost constant stream of input from your egos on the subject, does tend to lead to the belief that you are, individually, of practically no significance whatever in the grander scheme of things, if indeed there even is a grander scheme of things. Your egos want to be listened to constantly and will do anything in their power to hold your attention and to direct your attitudes and opinions and behaviors. Most of you believe that your egos are absolutely essential to your well-being because they are always on the alert to register the expression of the slightest hint of a negative judgment or offensive opinion of you by anyone in your immediate vicinity. And if you are alone, then they fill your minds with memories of past hurts or offenses that you have experienced, even from decades ago. Or they offer you thoughts and ideas of possible future disasters that could befall you. And of course, it is your egos that fill you with the sense that you need instant gratification of whatever your heart desires. But of course, it is not your hearts that have those desires, it's your egos. Most of you are well aware of the large variety of problems that your egos can invent instantly for your immediate attention, which, in truth, have very little validity, as it is most unlikely that you will experience any of them. However, you accept this as being one of the conditions of living in easily damaged human bodies, and you all have had experiences where their input has been invaluable. Nevertheless, you mostly would prefer it if you could be less instantly responsive to them, less inclined to respond to their urgings with knee-jerk reactions, which you often later come to regret. Your egos are part of your real, true, or higher self, but they have totally forgotten that. And they are also the part of you that experiences the sense of separation from Source, and are therefore split off from you. That experience, even though unreal, is terrifying. There is only God, Source, Love, the eternal energy field in which all that exists, all of creation, is contained in an infinite and eternal loving embrace. To even imagine not being in that presence is absolutely terrifying, because there is absolutely nowhere else, and therefore that would be a state of non-being, a state in which your life would have been terminated eternally. It is very hard for you to imagine the terror that this inspires very deep within yourselves, because it does seem that you have mostly accepted that, as humans, you live lives of very short duration that end naturally and normally in the death of your human bodies. And if you do not believe that life is eternal, and therefore believe that one physical life as a human is all you get, you block from your awareness that unacceptable and unchangeable truth, the inevitability of your human death. Consequently, many live with the apparent reality of your own personal death denied for as long as possible. You live your lives from day to day, enduring the drudgery it often involves, and hoping for something better and more enjoyable in the future, such as a vacation or a new and better relationship. Your egos, however, live in almost constant fear of many different kinds of unpleasant or painful events that might occur, that they use to hide away any thoughts of death which they prefer to avoid thinking about. But what you are really hoping for is to awaken from the dream or nightmare in which your life as a human appears to be the only life you will ever have. Deep within yourselves resides the absolute knowing that you are indeed divine beings. However, due to the severe limitations that being human imposes on you, that knowing is extremely difficult for you to access. It is accessible if you will allow yourselves the essential quiet time in reflection, contemplation, or meditation that massively reduces the noise of the distractions with which your egos are constantly presenting you. In that quiet time, as more and more of you who choose to spend time in this way are now realizing, you find peace and self-acceptance as the love that you are arises into your awareness. When that happens, your fears fall away, because in that quiet space, your knowing that you are one with God, Source, all that is, can no longer be hidden or denied, because the absolute power of that knowing dissolves the limitations of your human condition. And that is the state of enlightenment that so many are consciously seeking, while in truth all are seeking it, even though they remain unaware. All attempts or striving for something more in life, something much, much more, although mostly ego-driven, are from that still small voice within, the voice of the Holy Spirit, calling you to awaken. The ego hears and thinks that something of a physical nature appealing to your human senses is what is required. It totally misidentifies the source from which this longing arises, and, as you are all well aware, none of the delights or pleasures that you enjoy as a human ever last. They are but temporary distractions that momentarily provide satisfaction, leaving you lost and disappointed when they inevitably fade away. God, love, source, the oneness of being eternally in the divine presence is what you all seek, and the way home to that state has always been available to you. Now, finally, as the collective awakening process proceeds apace, more and more of you are becoming aware that this is what you seek, and you are now choosing no longer to deny yourselves your divinity, your eternal oneness with God. You have chosen to awaken. With so very much love, Saul.